The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. We've all heard that title before. That's become really a big staple in not even pop culture, just everywhere. The term the good, the bad, and the ugly. But of course, it all started with Sergio Leone's 1966 film, which stars Clint Eastwood, Eli Wallach, or Wallach. I've never actually known if it was Wallach or Wallach, but whatever. And Lee Van Cleef. This is, it's not quite 3 hours, it's like 2 hours and 45 minutes. And it's one of those slow paced films that really doesn't have any elements of, okay, can we get to the next bit already? You're testing my patience. Can we get on with it already? No, Good, the Bad, and the Ugly does not have that despite being slow paced. A bit of a quieter sort of film. It may be a little bit quiet, but it still does have lots of splurges of energy, and it does a fantastic job of really keeping the audience in its grasp the whole time. Makes it really, really exciting, and that's great. So the movie was it's final film of the Man with No Name trilogy, and some call The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly Clint Eastwood's, well, not just Clint Eastwood's, but the greatest Western film ever made. Like, look at IMDb, for instance. It's one of the very highest rated films. I personally don't think that it's quite the best Western ever made. Definitely top 10. I just simply think that there's a couple of better Westerns out there, like Unforgiven and The Searchers. But if someone says, "Oh, I think that the best Western ever is The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly," I'd be like, "Okay, cool." So, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly deals with three men who are Eastwood, Wallach, and Van Cleef. They are they're on the hunt for this big loot of gold. Lee Van Cleef is the ugly. He's the major bad guy of the group, and Eastwood and Wallach they're kind of frenemies. I guess you could say, like they're in cahoots with each other, but yeah, they're kind of on and off being friends during the movie, and eventually they all three of them become foes as they try to get the money for them. They try to get that loot for themselves. It's kind of quiet. It's a little bit slow paced, but it's still tremendously exciting. Very, very good to look at, and the thing that makes The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly work better than some other things like Leone's Once Upon a Time in the West is Once Upon a Time in the West. I hate to break it to you, but that's a boring movie. Good, the Bad, and the Ugly is so much better. Not a dull moment in it. Despite there being some moments of no dialogue and some slow moving scenes, never ever a boring film. And it's just amazing the way that Sergio Leone does it. So I'm gonna give The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly from 1966 my highest score of 4 stars. Please subscribe.